Hey everyone, welcome to yet another video from Grassroot Education. My name is Aparna and today's video is a little different. We're going to talk to you about the immigration process to Canada. Now, before I get started, I hope you've been checking out my other content on IELTS. I'm tagging all these playlists here so you can check them out and let me know if you have questions in the comments. We also organize live IELTS masterclasses, and these updates come to you in a WhatsApp group. Now, the link to this WhatsApp group is there in the description of this video. So let's get started with the video. And let me help you understand how you can be an immigrant there and how you can become a permanent resident there. So there are many ways through which you can immigrate to Canada. I'm not getting into all the ways today. I'm just going to help you understand the most common program, the most common immigration or the permanent resident program, which is the Express Entry program. Now, this particular Express Entry program is an online process. So if you have a provincial nomination, that means if you have an invitation from any of these provinces to work there and you meet their specific requirements, you can apply on paper as well. And the process remains the same. The eligibility criteria are fairly the same, but you can do that offline as well. You will be mailing all your documents to Canada if you apply on paper. But if you apply through Express Entry, then this is how the process goes about. So once you feel that you have met the eligibility requirement, you fill up a profile. And this particular profile includes your education information, your work experience or a job offer, and your language requirements. Now, after this, you are added to a CRS pool, which is called the Comprehensive Ranking System. And based on your score in this particular pool, as in how high you are ranked in this particular pool, you get an invitation from the Canadian government saying you can apply for a permanent residence here. And then you submit a list of documents to apply for a PR, and that should be done within 60 days. And once the application is submitted, you are given a reply within 6 months. So this is how the whole PR process works for the Express Entry. Now again, within Express Entry, there are 3 different immigration programs. One is called the Canadian Experience Class. The other is called the Federal Skilled Worker Program. The third one is called the Federal Skilled Trades Program. Now, the Federal Skilled Trade Program is for anyone who has a skill, as in someone who is an electrician, a plumber, a construction worker, a driver. So these specific skills. We're not getting into that because, again, most of you watching this video will fall under the first 2 categories. So the Canadian Express class means that you are already in Canada, you've finished your education or you're working there in Canada already. For you to be eligible under this category, you will need to display at least 1 year of work experience in Canada in the last 3 years. Means you should have been living there in Canada by now. And along with this, along with your work experience requirement, you should also fulfill their language requirements. Now, their language requirements can be displayed through any of the tests. Obviously, if you're taking an English language test, it's either CELPIP G or the IELTS General Training Test. And in both these tests, you need to fulfill a certain language benchmark. That's called the Canadian Language Benchmark. And the minimum required language benchmark is CLB 7, which translates to an overall IELTS 6.5 score. But there's a catch. Remember, the CRS becomes high if your CLB is as high as 9 or 10. So even though the official website says CLB 7, you will always have to target a CLB 9 or a 10 in case you want to apply through the Express Entry program, either as a Canadian Express class or as a Federal Skilled Worker. Okay. With the language requirements and your Work Exp details, you will also need to have your education credential assessment. So if, let's say, you did not do your bachelor's in Canada, you will need to get your ECA or Education Credential Assessment done from a designated organization back in India. And this particular organization will certify saying your degree or your education is equivalent to a Canadian degree or a diploma. Similar process if you are applying through federal skilled worker program. The only difference here is that you will need to show that you have a job offer there in Canada, and here back in India you have a similar work experience of at least 1 year, and you will either you should have taken a managerial position or any professional qualification. So that's the requirement for you to be eligible for a federal skilled worker program. The rest of the requirements, the language requirements, as in the IELTS test scores, CLB 9 or 10, or the education credential assessment, remain the same. So you'll follow the same process, just that instead of showing that you already live there, you're going to show that you have a job offer there. Obviously. So this is how the whole PR process works. Now, if you want to check your CRS now, if you want to have an idea about where you stand, there is also a method by which you can do that. The official Canadian website offers you this opportunity to check your CRS score even without actually submitting your profile. So you can do that here. I'm just tagging that link in the video description as well. So one last thing that I want to add before I close is that if you have been invited for applying for a PR, you will need to submit another list of documents, and these are the list of documents. I'm also tagging these links in the description so that you can check them out later. That's all for today. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on the comments of this video and I will help you get answers to these questions. I'll see you guys in another video. Keep watching my channel for more such insights. Bye bye then. Have a good day.